Welcome back, my fellow duplicates, to the Ultimate Automation Challenge! And in today's episode here, we're going to be taking what we learned over the last couple of episodes here about our liquid system and getting rid of germs, and also where we don't need to get rid of germs. So, there's a lot of things that I can do here to simplify what I got going on, get rid of a lot of the spaghetti pipes that I've got set up right here, and continue to automate. The main goal, though, besides getting that set up and running very, very well, is going to be automating the food system down here. So I have a little bit of meal ice, and I'm going to grow some of that, but I'm going to convey it over and possibly cook it up over here on the left. Here's another cool thing that I just kind of noticed based on your comments. There's been many of them. I've been sorting through them the best I can. And that is that I have a cold generator right up here, and I can deliver directly to that and also fill it again using the auto sweeper. But here's the cool thing. Since I have the terrariums right down here beneath it, I can get rid of this carbon dioxide from this cold generator right there. So I actually don't even need the carbon skimmer at all. Just cut it, get rid of it. I might leave it there just for good measure, but you know what? It's really not needed because we're just gonna suck it up and destroy it. I like it. That's gonna be pretty awesome right there. So we're gonna automate this a little bit, get it running a little bit better, make sure that things stay clean. It'll be pretty awesome. Now, I actually did record this episode once before, but unfortunately, I ended up with no audio. Not only did I end up with no audio, but I ended up with a serious mess of spaghetti pipes. I mean, look at this madness. Oh, hang on. Yeah, look at that. I just started playing the game too late. I tried to rush, ended up playing the game too long, and ended up with this. So, I'm going to do this properly today. The reason and how I'm going to do that properly is I'm going to shut down all of my liquid system here. We're going to go offline. We're just going to pipe it around. You know, we're going to carry the little pails, rework the liquid system. So the first thing I need to set up here is going to be a plumber. I don't know what it is about that song, but it feels like a good intro song. Gets me pumped up. I always have a couple of pump up songs that I listen to every time I go to start up one of these new playthroughs. It's good stuff. All right, so first things first. Let's go ahead and just build this up and gain a little bit of space because I'm going to need to set up, you know, the outhouse and the sink and all of that stuff just so that I can keep this stuff up and running. Now, I know it's almost a little bit cheaty because I have to, you know, run this thing again, but let's face it, guys. I personally was not enjoying the idea of having to reroute spaghetti pipes constantly, and I don't think you guys want to watch 15 episodes of me trying to figure out the piping system over and over again. So we're just going to do it right today. Oxygen. All right, so inside of here, I'm going to need a lavatory. And we're going to kind of place that back there. Also going to just need a simple sink, which I can never remember what tab that's in. Which one? Oh, speaking of which, we got these new wall tiles. These are pretty cool. It's actually used up in like the space area, so you can kind of close it off and not accidentally get sucked out into space, or all your gas gets sucked out into space, but we won't need to use that right off the bat, although it would be very useful at some point. The other thing that is also going to be useful here is if I make some nice canvases and actually really bring the decor up here, because stress has become a bit of a problem, and especially once I go to actually use a mechatronics engineer, or get one of those in here. That will actually become a much bigger problem. And there will be quite a bit of mechatronic stuff I actually need to do. So another goal here is to get rid of the rock granulator and actually just use a proper metal refinery, which is right down there. Takes a lot of power, but you know what? It'll be worth it because we won't waste so much on sand. Enable auto harvest for everything. You see? Whoops. There you go. Good game. Actually, we'll just put the outhouse right there. That'll be simple enough. So Nicola here should probably become a miner so that I can dig up what I need to. Gossman is going to be an art student. That'll help decor. Max, you're going to become a plumber because I need a plumber. All right, so in order to get this running correctly, I'm going to go ahead and deconstruct some of these pipes here. That way I can kind of just clear these pipes out. And that will actually work pretty good just to make sure that gets out of there. I want everything to end up going through the terrariums here at some point. Therefore, everything that is inside of my system is clean. What do we got for food, huh? Mush bars. Yuck. I'm kind of feeling like I had a mush bar for dinner. I'm going to disable this pump over here so I can just clear out all of this liquid. And all I really need to do down here is just to convert this to airflow tiles and pretty much set up. And then I can just make that a ladder and eventually just open that up all together. So now I'm going to use the empty pipe command here, and we'll try to clear some of this out. Good job, Max. Way to go. I suppose you could just have them empty at the very end of the pipe and it would just take care of everything. Oh well. Is what it is. We'll go ahead and give Max a little higher priority on farming too, so that he can, somebody at least gets down here and takes care of the mealwood. So I'll want to deconstruct this and actually just build up a couple tiles there, so that way we can, kind of shut this down for a little bit. So we could just put 2 tiles right here, just like so. And eventually I'll just kind of put all of the different auto sweepers and everything up in here. Okay, so as far as what I want to have inside of here, I want to have a couple of these water sieves. So one is just going to simply process all of this equipment up here, just going to recycle it over and over again. And then the bottom one will actually run and clean the water. So that's how that's going to work. Yes! Meep has arrived! Everything is going to be amazing now! Welcome to the base! Interests tidy! Oh, perfect. Groundskeeper, welcome! Oh, this playthrough just got 1,000% better now that Meep's here. Even if we don't have enough food. But that's okay. Gives us something to do. Here, let's go grow some more food. Oh no, don't sleep there. Okay, so I'm going to put a nice little water sieve right here. Can I flip it? Yes, I can. Excellent. So in will be over here, right there. And then I need a liquid shutoff valve. That way I can allow it to actually flow out if I need to. So that'll be right there, right next to it. And then the flow inwards will just be like this. There, nice and clean. I like it. And then since that is clean already, I can go ahead and just do a nice little bridge right here and dump this right in there. Then I just have a liquid element sensor. Oh no, where can I put that? Well, we can get rid of this thing. We don't need that. And then liquid element sensor. Yeah, you can just go right here. That way we at least have a little bit. So that will run just like so. Okay, so I think it's time to disable this pump for a little bit. And I'm also just going to disable that. So we'll just keep bottling up the polluted water down here. Or I could probably just get rid of this. Yeah, because it's not really needed. Just work on deconstructing all of the liquid pipes. I don't really need a lot of these. We'll just rerun them. Yeah, this feels good. Feels good to finally have things under control here. Get rid of that. And probably, just for a little bit, put in an algae deoxidizer because I'm still going to need oxygen at some point. All right, so the water that goes through this sieve will be free of germs. So what do I want to do with that? Well, I think I'm going to want to store it in another tank somewhere. So the plumbing will look something like this. So now I've got clean polluted water. That'll come up. It'll be turned into clean water, and that'll be piped on over into probably another tank here, which will be on top of the kitchen or right next to the kitchen so that you can get your water right there. Perfect. Now to take care of this little carbon scrubber right there, just kind of jump that over here so we can get that into the loop. That just runs through the main one right there, and then its return line, yeah, it just goes right like that. So it doesn't matter if there's germs in that or not. I won't care. Now to clean this water, we're just going to take this and we're going to run it right on back over here. And we'll just bridge it around till I get exactly to where I want, which is right there. So rather than doing this number over here, nope, we're just going to keep going over this way. I'm going to build a refrigerator right down here for a little bit. That way I can store that food down there in the carbon dioxide. All right, so the liquid system here is, I mean, it still looks like spaghetti, but it should work really good. We're gonna turn this into a nice little mess hall down here. I think that'd be real nice. Look at all that decor. This one's okay, but it's just kind of too small. Okay, so next thing that I want to do is actually build where I'm going to do a lot of my cooking. So, I'm gonna go ahead and designate this area for cooking. And I think I'm going to go ahead and make it a little bit deeper. get inside of here and actually have like a basement for the food. Now here's a cool thing. Look at all of this algae over here. So much of it. And I'm also going to try to let this chlorine flow down into the basement. That way if I get any food in there, like this little meal ice or whatever, not only if it ends up a little germy, will it be purified, it'll also be sterile down here, just kind of like I have with the carbon dioxide. So stuff in there stays fresh, real nice. And then I'm going to use my auto sweeper that can feed a loader right over here. And I could do the exact same thing down here, actually just feed a loader and maybe get rid of one farm tile or something like that. And that will then just convey directly over here and automatically fill up the basement with food. Very nice. Okay, so I think the whole liquid system is ready to go. So I'm just going to go ahead and put a little valve in here and a little spot to prime the whole system. And when I'm all said and done, this pipe over here will come down. And I'll have a little water basin right inside of here so that we can cook, and we can also draw the water straight from there. So if I go over to plumbing, I should be able to put a little pitcher pump right here. Do I have enough room for all of this? I'll put the electric grill right there, and then the micro musher above that. Yes, I do. With a ladder down the middle. And I'll just give it a roof and a door. Another airflow tile, and how about a sculpting block, just to add to the decor. One system I'd really like to get up and running is some sort of storage system where I'm just using auto sweepers to go around and like sweep up a lot of stuff like this, or I don't know, just to kind of sort the storage a little bit more. But I don't have that set up just yet. Oh, and the reason I don't have that set up yet is because I don't have enough refined metal. So I need to go ahead and get that set up. Just a nice little metal refinery over here. Now here's the thing. This thing uses 1.2 kilowatts. And that's a lot of power for me right now. So since I already have a new mess hall down here, I'm going to go ahead and just get rid of this. I think I want to do a little something different with the pipes. I was just thinking, the one issue I started to run into with this base was that if I got something like this, which is polluted water, maybe somebody got sick or something like that, it has germs in it, and the spot that the duplicants really want to drop it is right here in the bottle emptier, because that's how we automatically go from here to there. Well, we don't automatically, I should say. That's just the spot where the duplicants do the work. And if I have a higher priority somewhere else, then they won't drop it here. So that defeats the purpose of my system. So what I really need to do is have a system that can detect germs and then sort it whether or not I do have germs in it or not, as far as what's coming out of this liquid pipe. So this thing does need to be a tidbit smarter. And if it has germs, then it should route it down here to get clean again. Otherwise, it can take it and dump it into where my food's going to be. All right, so how do I do that? Well, I'll use a germ sensor once I actually get the materials for it. Well, I could do that. I could just cancel that. There you go. Oh, crap. It requires plastic? No. It says it requires copper. No! Well, shoot. I'm not exactly sure what to do about that right now. Let's go ahead and prime this system, though, what I currently have, and we'll go from there. How quickly can I get some plastic? Ugh. It's a long way, it's a long dig to get to anything like that. Ugh. Oh well. Alright, so let's fill up the system here. A little bit of water running through, hopefully. Come on, flick it. Nope, guess not. Aha! Here's what I can do. That's a little bit tricky, but okay, here we go. 1, 2. We'll put a little bit of a liquid pump right here. And we're just going to power this up and run it right on in. So that way it gets into the system where all the other germs are going to be. Is this thing going to... Is anybody going to flick that switch? Somebody toggle up a little bit. I can't get anybody to change this thing. Come on. Oh, of course I got one of these backwards. I've just set up a little manual generator over here in order to get this thing up and running for a little bit. Alright, so this should let in a little bit of chlorine, which should be real good, especially for this over here. I'm just going to go ahead and put in a manual airlock. That way I can kind of control what's going on there. Had a mistake with my automation. I don't need the NOT gate there, just the filter. In this situation, we can get rid of those, and that will continue to circulate back around. Let's see what all we have over here. Ooh, just a bunch of iron ore, some bleach stone. That would be real good. Coal. Not really seeing a whole lot there. Oh my gosh, this is one giant slime biome. Look at this. Look at that. Huge. So big. All right, so that system's up and running. We can go ahead and disable this, maybe empty it and stuff like that. Make sure that stuff works. Good deal. All right, that went nice and smooth so far. All right, so I've got a little bit more copper now. I've also got some access to iron ore, so I can start to plan this stuff out. Ah! I need more. We gotta crank the priority up on this. There we go. So now I've got my first overflow. So now it's piping down here to drip onto this stuff and to clear that stuff out. So that's good. Exactly what I wanted to see. Very nice. All my chlorine ended up here rather than there. Oh well. Hey, Nicola, man, bro, how'd you... Dude, you did this to yourself. All right, so at this point, I might as well just cycle this water back around and, you know, work on refining the metal that I need to refine. All right, so it looks like my pipe works are working out really good. This is just currently recycling back over and over again to continue to create oxygen, which means I can disable this. I don't need that anymore. So not only is that cleaning up any of the germs that are inside of there, it's just going to circle it back around until I feel like everything is clean inside of here. Then I can use that to kind of fill up a little bit of water over here on the left. I might do a little something else to make that work a little bit better. But for now, that's working out pretty good. So connect that up right there. And also make sure I get these wires ready to go, because it's about time to get some automation up in here and start shipping things around. Conveyor loader, yes, you know it. No, I need more. Crap. All right, so now I've got a little storage factor. I'll just fill this up with algae, so that way, boom, that would take care of all of these terrariums down here. It can't, unfortunately, automatically load the bottles into the bottle emptier, but polluted water. Do I see any germs around? No, not much. I think I'm all good. All right, it's time for Gossman to go ahead and become a mechatronics engineer and get to work. So I have a lot of these auto sweepers ready to go. Actually going to put in another loader over there. I've got a fair bit of polluted oxygen that's found its way around, and that's because this deodorizer was not active for a long time. It needs to be automatically maintained a little bit, but right now it isn't. This is working out okay. I'm just using the metal refinery so I don't burn up as much of my metal on, you know, making sand and stuff like that. It does annoyingly require a lot of manual generation, but whatever. I could definitely just put in another generator, but I guess I'm not doing that right now, despite this being a automated base. So now I'm going to put in an auto sweeper right here. That way all of the food that ends up coming down over here will actually end up inside of here. I want to make sure I have carbon dioxide inside of here though, so I'm going to disable any pathing in and out of this area. So hopefully as duplicates end up in this area, they give off more and more carbon dioxide, making this a nice sterile environment. And now that I have a spot to do cooking, I can just get rid of this one. So that's already set. Ah, you know what I needed in this, which I don't have right now, is I do need a sink. Which means I gotta move a lot of stuff. Oh, well, delete everything and start over. All right, so just reworking the power system a little bit here so that all of that works out real good. I'm also going to move this door down just one tile because I'm going to have the sink right there. I've already got the liquid pipes all ready to go. And the return line all just runs right through the same sieve over and over again. There's a lot to this. Look at that. I mean, there's a lot going on there. Okay, so I want to add a loader right here. And what that's going to do is allow me to take some of the coal that this little hatch is making and actually deliver it directly right up here to the coal generator. Tricky. I like it. So every once in a while, you should eat that clay or something like that, because there is, you know, dirt and stuff down there. I think it's pretty tricky. Yes, see? There we go. The auto sweeper's picking up, and we got meal ice inside of here. So long as we actually build this stuff. So that's getting transported over here to the kitchen. And now I can just say all edible food is right there. So this auto sweeper should take it out of there and put it in, you know, into one of those. As long as the priority on this is a little bit lower. Actually, if I just deconstruct that real quick and then rebuild it, but rebuild it to the side, I should be able to fit one more food down there. All right, so I read in the comments a pretty good recommendation. If I wanted to disinfect things like this genetic ooze, I could just convey it through a room of chlorine. So once I actually get a pretty decent room of chlorine like this over here, or something like that, as long as I don't disturb it too much, I could just convey stuff through there, and that will clean it up. No matter no matter what it is, it'll just start to kill off the germs. So if I have an area that has a lot of slime or something like that, and I want to kill the slime lungs off, I can convey it through here, and that'll actually kill it. There's a certain amount, I guess, like that it would need to be exposed time in that area, but for the most part, it should just work as long as I have enough area that I'm conveying it through. I think it's about time I start to bring in a little bit more water over here. So I'll start to dig in preparation that I can just let that through. So now all I gotta do is dig that and whoosh. Oh no! Too much! Okay, so if I go to here and I say coal, will it work? Yeah, exactly what I wanted to see. And then, if that is a 4, then I could just start to build it up. Awesome! I love that. Super sweet, guys. I'm really liking this challenge. Hopefully you guys are liking it as well. If I've earned your subscription, then thank you so much for that. Have a great day, guys. Stay awesome. Peace. Brothgar